Tell me about your camp life, about when the Japanese came.
Okay, well, that ties in, I think, with your interest, because when the Japanese arrived, we listened to these announcements on the radio, what to do. The Americans pulled out, declaring Manila an open city so the Japanese would stop bombing and so on. Anyway, as the Japanese approached, the radio announcement by local authorities came that Americans probably should move in from outlying districts. At that time, where we lived would be, it's now, way downtown, more or less downtown, but that was sort of outlying then near LaSalle College. And so we moved in with this German family, the Rechters. So we stayed with them. Then the announcement came on early January 42. I forget why. Well, must have been all males should show up at Rizal Stadium, take stuff for 3 days. Enemy alien males. Mm-hmm. So my father went to Rizal Stadium. They were, as you probably know the story, they were taken to Santo Tomas. My mother and I continued to stay with the Rechters, and we used to take trips to Santo Tomas by horse-driven carretela, caramatas, whatever they were, and take him stuff to send through the line. We could see him on the other side of the fence. There were certain hours you could do that. Now that went on for 3 weeks. I was interned January 4, and we were interned, as I say, exactly 3 weeks later. That January 4th, January 25th of 42. And I was put into the same room with my father. We were in rooms like this, classrooms. That had been a university, as you know. And believe it or not, the very next day, this was a packed room by 40, 50 people, I don't know.
All the men, all men together.
Yes.
So you were staying
There
with
were
your
men's
dad.
rooms and women's rooms. My mother went into a room on the first floor. I think this was the third floor. And the very next morning, I came down with dysentery. So my memory of the early days of the camp is limited to the hospital. I was in there for about 3 weeks. I remember the nurse telling me I had 106.2 one time, fever.
How old were you when you went?
I was 11. I turned 11 in December, just the month before. So I was 11. And I weighed about 110 when we went in. I think I was rather chubby for my age. And, well, when we were freed 3 years later, 37 months later, I weighed 69.
Oh.